Good morning from Disney's Contemporary Resort. I'm here today, starting off my day with some breakfast at Steakhouse 71, formerly known as The Wave. And now I'm about to head over to Magic Kingdom. I'm going to do a full review of The Wave in a later video, but it still remains my favorite, or that's not The Wave, Steakhouse 71. Still remains my favorite breakfast on property, and still the best pancakes on property in my opinion, but I'll save the rest of it for the full review. But yeah, heading to Magic Kingdom for some 50th celebration. Let's go. October 1st, 2021 marked the 50th anniversary of the Magic Kingdom, but there are several attractions here that also celebrated their 50th anniversaries. So let's go check some of those out. First up in Adventureland, the Jungle Cruise. The Walt Disney World Jungle Cruise opened on October 1st, 1971, almost identical to the Disneyland attraction that opened 16 years earlier. The Florida version is set as a Depression-era British outpost on the Amazon River operated by the fictional company, the Jungle Navigation Company. Over the years, a variety of changes were made, including enhanced audio effects, updates to the storyline, and the removal of culturally sensitive material. In 2013, the Jungle Cruise holiday overlay was introduced to both Walt Disney World and Disneyland that runs during the holiday season. A Jungle Cruise-themed restaurant, the Skipper Canteen, one of our favorites, opened in December of 2015 and expanded on the Jungle Navigation Company's storyline, making Dr. Albert Falls into the founder of the company in 1911, with his granddaughter Alberta Falls taking charge of the navigation company and the Jungle Cruise in the 1930s. This storyline has been incorporated into the 2021 refurbishment of the two American versions. Next up in Adventureland is Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room opened June 23, 1963 in Disneyland and was the first attraction to feature audio animatronic technology and was Disneyland's first fully air-conditioned building due to the heat produced by the computers needed for the attraction. A virtually identical copy of the show, called Tropical Serenade at the time, opened in the Magic Kingdom when the park opened in 1971. Although accompanied by a new pre-show featuring Clyde and Claude perched on a tiki behind a waterfall, the main show was the same as the Disneyland version. Tropical Serenade was then renamed the Enchanted Tiki Birds in 1993 and replaced by the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management in 1998, featuring Iago from Disney's Aladdin and Zazu from Disney's The Lion King. In January 2011, a fire broke out in the attic of the attraction, severely damaging the Iago audio animatronic. On August 15, 2011, the attraction reopened as Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room as it remains today. Lastly in Adventureland is the Swiss Family Treehouse. The Swiss Family Treehouse opened in Disneyland in November of 1962, 2 years after the Disney film Swiss Family Robinson in 1960. The attraction was a walkthrough rather than a ride, in which visitors walked up 68 steps in the trunk of the tree through various rooms designed on the theme of the movie, with items and structures made to appear salvaged from a 19th century shipwreck and desert island finds. When the Magic Kingdom opened at the Walt Disney World Resort on October 1st, 1971, the Swiss Family Treehouse was one of the original attractions in Adventureland. The tree, while intended to look real, is actually made up of steel, concrete, and stucco, stretching 60 feet tall and 90 feet wide. Although the Disneyland version of this attraction closed in March of 1999 to be rethemed as Tarzan's Treehouse, the one in Walt Disney World remains unchanged to this day. Over in Frontierland is the Country Bear Jamboree. The Country Bear Jamboree was originally intended by Walt Disney to be placed at Disney's Mineral King Ski Resort in California, which he was trying to build in the mid-1960s. Disney knew he wanted some sort of show to provide entertainment to the guests at the resort, and he knew he wanted the show to feature some sort of bear band. This is thought to be the last attraction Walt was involved in before he died in December of 1966. While the plans for the show progressed, the plans for the ski resort did not, and the decision was made to instead place the show in the Magic Kingdom in time for its opening day. It received so much positive feedback that Imagineers immediately planned to make a replica of the show to be placed in Disneyland in a new land titled Bear Country. Due to the popularity in Florida, 2 identical theaters were built in Disneyland to increase the capacity for the show. The Disneyland version opened on March 4, 1972, but closed on September 9, 2001 to be replaced by The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in 2003. Although over the years some songs and dialogue have been removed and the show is about 5 minutes shorter than its original version, the Walt Disney World Country Bear Jamboree remains a beloved attraction to this day. Both present-day attractions in Liberty Square were opening day attractions. First off is the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is an attraction in several of the Disney theme parks around the world, with a storyline that is slightly different in each. During the production and assembly of the props and audio animatronics for Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, duplicates of everything were being made for the Walt Disney World version. It was decided that the Florida version of the attraction would be slightly longer and much more elaborate than its California counterpart. Paul Frees recorded additional voiceovers, including the ghost host, to accompany the extra scenes in the ride. Because of the ample space within the park, the attraction's show building is much larger and not restricted by any railroad berm. Have you ever wondered what is actually happening in the stretching room? Well, in California, it is actually an elevator and you are being lowered. However, in the Florida version, because of the high water table, the ceiling is actually rising and you are not moving at all. This beloved attraction has even inspired a movie starring Eddie Murphy, and recently, a Muppets Haunted Mansion special in October of 2021. Next up in Liberty Square is the Hall of Presidents. Walt Disney had originally wanted an attraction similar to the Hall of Presidents called One Nation Under God in Disneyland. After Disneyland had become a huge success, Disney proposed an extension of Main Street called Liberty Street at Edison Square. Disney originally wanted wax figures of all the US presidents and later decided to try to make them animated figures, but the technology that he wanted for this attraction did not exist or fully meet his desire. Disney decided to collaborate with his fellow Imagineers of Wet Enterprises to try to make the first audio animatronic figure in a human form, and it would be one of Disney's heroes, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This attraction in Disneyland became known as Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, first premiering at the New York World's Fair in 1964. When designing the Magic Kingdom in Disney World, Imagineers decided that since Florida was closer to the real New Orleans in Louisiana, having a New Orleans Square in the Magic Kingdom was a bit odd. The old designs and concepts for Disney's Liberty Street at Edison Square were reviewed, revised, and what became of it was Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square, that served as the alternative to New Orleans Square. Liberty Square also serves as the alternate location for the Magic Kingdom's version of the Haunted Mansion, which is in New Orleans Square at Disneyland. The Imagineers also thought that as a follow-up to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, they could finally create Disney's concept of One Nation Under God and thus creating Hall of Presidents, which is still updated with the current sitting president to this day. Several Fantasyland attractions were opening day attractions in Walt Disney World. First up is It's a Small World. Debuting at the 1964 New York World's Fair, along with Carousel of Progress, a version of It's a Small World opened in Florida's Walt Disney World, Fantasyland, within the Magic Kingdom on October 1st, 1971. The boarding queue here was built inside the Enchanted Hall, and the three-dimensional facade that is seen outdoors in the other Disney parks was instead located in a slightly smaller scale along the far wall. Mary Blair was responsible for the attraction's whimsical design and color styling. Blair had been an art director on several Disney animated features, including Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, and Peter Pan. The song that is sure to get stuck in your head was written by Robert Sherman and Richard Sherman, the Sherman Brothers. When the song was first presented to Walt, they played it as a slow ballad, but Walt requested something more cheerful, so they sped up the tempo and sang in counterpoint. Walt was so delighted with this final result that he renamed the attraction from Children of the World to It's a Small World, after the Sherman Brothers song. In 2014, it was estimated that the song had been played nearly 50 million times worldwide in the attractions alone. And this does not count the number of times that you'll be singing it in your head after riding this attraction. Next up in Fantasyland is the Prince Charming Regal Carousel. The carousel is actually the oldest attraction in Walt Disney World, originally built by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company in 1917 and known as the Liberty Carousel, delivered to Belle Isle Park in Detroit, Michigan. It was then moved to Olympic Park in Irvington, New Jersey, and in 1967, the Walt Disney Company purchased it. This attraction has also undergone some name changes. On June 1st, 2010, the name was changed from Cinderella's Golden Carousel to Prince Charming Regal Carousel. Currently in Storybook Circus sits Dumbo. The Magic Kingdom's original 1971 version of the attraction was designed differently from its 1955 Disneyland counterpart. On opening day, it not only soft opened without Timothy and his disco ball, as seen in the Disneyland version, but the elephants created for this version oddly wore no hats. The test vehicles were eventually re-updated shortly afterwards, with elephants now wearing hats, like the Disneyland version, while Timothy and his ball were eventually added around 1972. In 2011, Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland underwent a large expansion and renovation, with Storybook Circus soft opening March 12, 2012. One of the main features of this renovation included a set of 2 identical Dumbo carousels. Lastly in Fantasyland is the Mad Tea Party, which is a spinning teacup ride located at 5 of the 6 Disneyland-style theme parks around the world. The ride theme is inspired by the Unbirthday Party scene in Walt Disney's Alice in Wonderland and plays a carousel version of the film's Unbirthday song. Like Disneyland, Magic Kingdom's original 1971 version of this attraction opened without a roof. It was eventually added in 1973, along with the central teapot, due to extreme weather conditions. It was updated in 1992 with a new color scheme, new music, and the colorful lanterns. And finally, over in Tomorrowland is the Tomorrowland Speedway. The Grand Prix Raceway, as it was known on opening day, was based on an international car race rather than the futuristic roadways of Autopia. In 1994, the Grand Prix theme and name was dropped in favor of Tomorrowland Indy Speedway. The name was changed again in 2008 to Tomorrowland Speedway, resulting in the drop of the Indy portion of the title. So that will do it for the opening day attractions. A couple of honorable mentions are the Frontierland Shooting Arcade and the Walt Disney World Railroad. Those are not currently open, so you can count those on the list. Others that are kind of sort of on the list as well is the Liberty Bell Riverboat. That opened on October 2nd, as well as Peter Pan's Flight opened on October 3rd. So close to 50 years, but not technically 50 years from October 1st. And now for some 50th anniversary snacks. Okay, and the first snack of the day, I have the Tropical Serenade from Aloha Isle. This is the coconut soft serve Dole Whip with a pog juice as the liquid for the float. And then it has a pineapple upside down cake pop, so let's give it a try. That is very good. I'm a fan of the coconut soft serve. My favorite float previously was the Kakamora float, which I think I tried in the last video. So this one is very similar, except instead of the pineapple juice with the curacao, it has pog juice, which I love pog juice. So definitely a win there. Let's give the cake pop a try. That is delicious. Very, very fruity pineapple and covered with coconut. Excellent. This is a $6.99 for the treat. Highly recommend this one. But finish it up before it melts, and then on to the next snack. Okay, and as for snack number 2, I just finished up at Cosmic Rays. I got the Mission to Mars, which is a burger topped with mac and cheese, bacon, and served on a bun dusted with crushed cheese-flavored puffs, and served with French fries. Overall, the burger itself was a standard Disney burger, nothing too fancy about it. Otherwise though, the toppings and everything were pretty good. I don't think I'd get this one again because the kind of low quality burger itself kind of brought down the rest of the dish. It was $12.99 for the burger and the fries, so fairly decent deal for Disney prices, but overall not too bad, but wouldn't get it again. It is currently 4:25, so I'm very early. Fireworks are at 9 o'clock, but I figure this is a pretty good fireworks spot. So the next clip you will see will be the fireworks.
Good evening, friends. Tonight, a special magic flows through this majestic castle. The magic of fantasy. We gather together as our dreams ignite the swirling pixie dust, creating a beacon that shines out in celebration of 50 years of the most magical place on earth.
It will be shine star, eyes and just believe. You have traveled from so far, and now you're close enough to feel. With the smile on your face and the song in your heart, this is where you're meant to be. Make a wish on a star, the magic is here. It's here for you and me. Oh, just believe it and close your eyes. You can go anywhere, flying so through the air. It's your imagination.
Okay, I am back in my room after a wonderful full day at Magic Kingdom for today. Started off with breakfast at the Contemporary because I wanted to eat there as an homage to that being 50 years old as well. Both Contemporary and Polynesian were opening day resorts, so I wanted to eat at one of those two. And like I said earlier in the video, breakfast at Steakhouse 71 was phenomenal. Highly recommend going there. Go out of your way to go there. Best breakfast on property, and it stands. I love the wave. This is just as good, if not better. It was fantastic. Love the new theming, and like I said before, full dining review coming soon for that. As far as the snacks go for today, highly recommend getting that Dole Whip float from Aloha Isle. That might be my new favorite one. Before it was the Kakamora float, since I love the coconut soft serve that they use for that. But instead of the pineapple juice and blue curacao in the Kakamora float, this one had pog juice. So one thing to note with that, I was a little bit confused because in the app it did say pineapple juice, but on the menu itself it did say the passion orange guava juice. So hopefully that's not going to change soon, and I keep it as the pog juice because that was fantastic. I love my pog juice. Mix it with some coconut soft serve, throw a pineapple upside down cake top in there, and that is one fantastic treat. As far as the burger goes, I would not get that again. I was not impressed by that at all. I feel like it was overpriced for what it was. Disney prices, it's $13 for a burger and fries is about average. But the quality of that burger compared to like one at say Deluxe Burger in Disney Springs is night and day. So the toppings were fun and the bun was fun, but I wouldn't get a burger again. Probably would just go to Casey's and get a hot dog if I wanted to do something for the 50th. Or, our go-to is always Skipper Canteen. So, wouldn't go to Cosmic Rays for the burgers, but you live and you learn. And then the rest of the evening, I basically spent waiting for the fireworks, and I was shocked and pleasantly surprised about the Beacon of Light kind of show that came on. Epcot did something similar, but they didn't really announce anything from where I was waiting for Harmonious, so didn't really know what was happening with that. But I think all the parks have like their Beacon of Light ceremony thing. But basically this started at 7:30, and they did it kind of every 30 minutes to 20 minutes or so. Just a little like 1 minute lighting ceremony of the castle, which was very cute, and very fun. And then as far as the fireworks go, Disney Enchantment. So I will say that I chose to watch it from the hub area, right by the fountain, and not down Main Street because I wanted to be a little bit further away from the crowds, and didn't want anybody in front of me. So that was one of the choices I made. I know that this show does have projections going down Main Street the whole way, so that's very fun. And overall for the show, I think the message is wonderful. The music is fun and exciting. I liked how they're using some different songs than Happily Ever After did. Some of the stuff is the same, but there were some interesting choices in the songs in there. All the animations are brand new on the castle, the projections, and I feel like compared to Happily Ever After projection-wise, Disney Enchantment kind of showed the characters that were involved with the story versus like playing a movie on the castle, if that makes sense. So they didn't rely on the projections quite as much. There was a lot going on. I will like definitely a lot happening on the castle, but they weren't relying on the projections quite as much as Happily Ever After did, I feel. And there was very recent stuff on there, like there was Soul and Onward was in there, and Raya and the Last Dragon was on there. I think that might have been the most recent one. So very up to date projections, but overall very cute. The fireworks, comparing the fireworks to Happily Ever After, I feel like Happily Ever After had a lot more like shape fireworks, a lot more kind of symbolic, like they did the swirl for Moana, they did the blocks for Toy Story, they did hearts for different aspects of the show, whereas here it seemed like a lot more just standard big fireworks, which I liked, kind of going back to the old style. They did have the blocks for the Toy Story part, so that was fun to see. They kept something, but yeah, overall I really enjoyed Disney Enchantment. I don't know how I feel about the music itself yet, like the original soundtrack for it. I think as I see it more and more, I will appreciate it and kind of learn the words like I did for Happily Ever After. So kind of still holding my judgment on the music, but definitely a show that is rewatchable. And since there was the projections down Main Street, I feel like it will be rewatchable from different vantage points, which is kind of fun. I know that this month, in a few weeks, I'll be able to see the same show from California Grill. So I'm curious to see how that is when I don't have the projections at all, and see how the music and the fireworks alone kind of tell the story. So stay tuned for that video coming out in a little bit. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Disney Enchantment. Just a great day at Magic Kingdom. The crowds were a bit insane compared to yesterday at Epcot. Basically, the entire hub area down Main Street was just shoulder to shoulder for the fireworks, and then getting out was kind of a disaster because the park closed at 11 today and the fireworks ended at 9:15. So people wanted to stay and people wanted to leave, so there were people just going every direction. And yeah, I did not stay till 11. I left right at the fireworks, and then they did open up the kind of back path behind the Plaza restaurant and 20th Town Square restaurant, which made it a little bit easier to get out because you avoid Main Street that way. But I think I made it back to my hotel. So from my spot in the hub, walked out of Magic Kingdom, walked over to the Contemporary into my car, and drove from the Contemporary to basically Disney Springs in about 45 minutes. So not too bad overall. But yeah, great day at Magic Kingdom. Highly recommend checking out that Dole Whip float. Highly recommend checking out Steakhouse 220 for breakfast. I will have to try their lunch and dinner sometime in the near future, because if the breakfast was that good, I can only imagine what is to come for the lunch and dinner. And yeah, but that will do it for tonight. I have an early start tomorrow. I have to check out of the hotel and then head over to Animal Kingdom for my day at Animal Kingdom. So I have lunch at Tiffin's tomorrow, which I'm very excited for. Never had that before, so looking forward to that one, as well as Kite Tales, which I've seen some interesting things happening there, so we shall see how that goes. But that will do it for today. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want more park content. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you real soon.